So TCU tomorrow. You guys didn't play them last year, but it's obviously a historic rival for the club. Do you guys think about that when you're preparing for the game?
Yes, we've talked about it. It's been a rivalry around these parts for longer than all of us have been alive, I would say, and it's a big deal to a lot of people. We're trying to get our guys to understand that not everybody is from around here, but we know about it, we're talking about it, and hopefully our guys will understand that and be ready for it.
Is it more special for Jordan being a Fort Worth guy?
Probably.
Or has that not come up?
Well, not specifically. We hadn't really asked him, but I would think deep down it probably is. Yes.
What are the big challenges that TCU presents?
We've been playing the last two games. We played two Ivy League teams that are very Ivy League-like in that they're a lot of guards, a lot of three-point shots, a lot of complex offense, not tremendous size, a lot of times four guards on the floor, so what we would call an unconventional or small. And now TCU is more what you would consider traditional. We're more traditional. We play with two bigs most of the time, and so it's a little bit going back to maybe what we're used to most of the time, but we're also playing more talented players. So I think we're dealing with more size, more athleticism, and more of the things that pretty much used to playing against most of the time in the conference.
Is it tough to come off a quick 3-day rest when they've had a week to prepare for this game?
I wonder who really has an advantage on that. On one hand, you have a week to prepare, which is great, and you can rest during that time if that's what you choose to do, which can be really good, but at the same time, sometimes a little rest can take place or not. And then ourselves, on the other hand, no time to rest, but we're in a game rhythm, and so I don't know if you ask me to choose, honestly, I don't know which would be to our benefit. So truth be told, once they throw the ball up, it really probably doesn't matter. It's just things coaches worry about.
With two starters down on Sunday, Keith really stepped up and did a lot of the scoring for you guys. What's the difference between him this year and a year ago?
Well, he's had a lot of experience now, that's one, but he is playing with a lot of confidence, and part of that is because he's worked really hard to just, confidence comes with doing well, and he's practiced very well, he's playing very hard, and his mindset is to play to win. He's really taken the defensive end very seriously, and so even when you would say he didn't shoot the ball well, he's still playing it very well. And I know deep down he got confidence from that, and he knew it would be only a short amount of time before he had a really good shooting night. Obviously he's capable of that. That's the last thing to worry about. But what we're thrilled about is that he's just playing winning basketball. He's a guy, used to be a guy, if he wasn't shooting well, you might think, well, what can he give you right now? We don't care if he's shooting well or not as far as that goes, because he's guarding so well, he's rebounding hard, he's in the right place, he's got an understanding, and I've said it before, he studies the game probably harder than anyone on our team. He probably watches the most film, and you've got to really respect that.
Is that pride and effort on the defensive end something that's been in there all the time,
yes,
or have you really had to sort of teach it?
No. He has always had that, and he's naturally very competitive. You get a contest and he wants to win. He's very naturally competitive, and so because of that, he doesn't want to see his guy score. That's just his nature, and we love those kind of guys. And so those guys are going to get better. They're going to get really good. They're going to get great one day because the fire is burning, and we feel that from him. But no, we didn't teach him that. Hopefully, we've taught him, maybe some fundamentals of the defense and some recognition, but he had to learn to really compete. He wants their best player. He wants to take those challenges. Just love guys like that.
How's Nick Moore feeling?
Better. I don't know about great is the right word, but he was headed in the right direction. So we'll see. But hopefully he'll be okay.
Is he the only guy with any injury concerns?
Yes, other than Benny Malaga.
Sure.
Yeah, but yes.
When you look to preparing for TCU tomorrow, what are some areas that you'd like to sharpen in the game?
gosh, I'd have to give you a scouting report of what we got to do. I don't want to do that, but I can promise you there's some areas that we need to sharpen. We know it. Talking about it is one thing, practicing is another, and now the games are coming on pretty quickly, so you got to be a little mindful of not overworking, but also addressing some things. So I will say there are definitely some things that we need to shore up, and I'd rather not say because I don't want, maybe they haven't noticed. So hopefully they haven't, and we can hide them at least for another game.
As far as what they've noticed, with you coming off back-to-back games against these Ivy League teams, does that give you something of an advantage, since the most recent film TCU would be against these unconventional systems you talked about?
Oh, I don't know. Their last game, they played a team that pressed them the whole game and zoned them a good amount, and probably kind of muddied up that game from the natural flow that they would have. So, we're watching that film. I don't really know if that would or not. We've both played enough games that we get a sense for each other, and we know pretty much what they're going to do. They know pretty much what they're going to do. So I don't know if that's the case. A lot of times, film. We've been talking about this as a staff. You watch a lot of the films, a lot of games of the other team, but until you get in person, a lot of times it looks a lot different, and the matchups take place because you can't see it. The film guy, he's taking it from up here, and everybody looks like they're 2 inches and a half. Everybody's tiny, and you can't tell. Athleticism sometimes is hard to see on film. You get in the game, and a lot of times there's a lot of talk early in the game about, hey, this didn't look that way, or he's a lot better than we thought, or he's a lot bigger, stronger, whatever. So sometimes it takes a couple minutes in the game to kind of sort some of the things that you saw on film.
Anything else, Chris?
Thanks, Coach.
All right.
Hey.